Developing in Sandy Springs starting today. If you can't prove that a crime's being committed right in the middle of your home, Sandy Springs police will not respond to a burglar alarm call. CBS 46's Ayanna Crystal's live with what homeowners need to know. And Ayanna, I'm sure some homeowners aren't too happy about this new information.
That's exactly right, Karen. This is controversial, but Sandy Springs officials tell me they have been looking for solutions for 7 years now, trying different things, but nothing has lowered false alarm calls. And this is a problem, telling me they receive an average of 10,000 false alarm calls a year.
In Sandy Springs, we have not caught a burglar in the act, from an alarm call. Never.
Sandy Springs officials say they are averaging 10,000 false alarm calls a year, which is a public safety issue for their citizens.
The time to triage those calls in the 911 center takes, 5 to 7 minutes. Because alarm company, the industry has such a high failure rate, it is not seen as an emergency. So an officer could get there, 40 minutes later.
The new false alarm law starts today. Now the alarm monitoring company or homeowner has to provide video, audio, or in-person verification that a crime is occurring.
I don't like it.
Less than 1% of cities in the country use verified response. At least 10 cities have tried the verification and reversed the law.
I've had a gun pointed at me before.
Hillary Shearer home was broken into and she walked in on it. She says in the heat of crime, you don't have time to verify.
Resources are limited, and just continually sending people out, that's time and money, and that could be placed elsewhere. Their crime is really happening. And I've also had a house burglarized and I walked in on it. And that's, so I see both sides.
Our goal at the end of the day is to reduce the volume of calls into our 911 center.
With this new law, the city is hoping to utilize their officers with crimes that are actually being committed. Now, residents tell me this is dangerous and concerning. That is the latest in Sandy Springs. Ayanna Crystal, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Ayanna. We're going to go in depth right now with a closer look at those false alarms. Sandy Springs police tell us that 99% of calls from alarm companies, well, they're false alarms, a statistic that's consistent across the country. Here's a look at the top reasons for those false alarms, according to them: unlocked or loose doors or windows, pets or wildlife, user error, and equipment malfunctions.